Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Ogbanje Joseph. Please subscribe to this channel, share, like, as well as drop a comment on the comment section. So, our lecture today is titled Approaches to the Study of International Organizations. Approaches to the Study of International Organizations. So there are several approaches to the study of international organization. However, the ones we're going to be looking at right now are as follows. Number one is functionalist approach. Now, the history of functionalism as an approach, to the study of international organization can be traced to the issues that arose principally from the experience of the Second World War and a strong concern about the obsolescence of the state as a form of social organization. Functionalism primarily focuses on the promotion of common interests and needs shared by states, but also by non-state actors in the process of global integration triggered by the erosion of state sovereignty and the increasing weight of knowledge and hence of scientists and experts in the process of policy making. Now, accordingly, international organization is the collective governance and interdependence between states develops, and the development of its own internal dynamic as states integrate in limited functional, technical, and or economic areas. International agencies would meet human needs, okay, and of course, the benefits that are rendered from the functional agencies would attract the loyalty of the populations and stimulate, their participation and expand the area of integration. Okay, so new functionalism, for new functionalism to take place, the effective, efficient, and for new functionalism to take place and be effective, efficient, and meet the needs of participating states, the following assumptions must be in place. Number one, that the process of integration takes place within a framework of human freedom. Number two, that knowledge and expertise are currently available, to meet the needs for which the functional agencies are built. Number three, that the state will not sabotage the processes. So essentially, the objective of functionalism is to ensure that peace and security are maintained through a process which shifts focus from the issues of high politics, to low politics. A situation in which concentration, will be more on social, cultural, technical, and other mundane issues instead of escalating highly political issues, to the level of conflicts and confrontation. Hence, the aim of functionalism is to achieve global peace through functional cooperation by the work of international organizations, including intergovernmental and non-governmental organizations. This is conducted through activities that involves taking actions on practical and technical problems rather than those of military and political nature. Furthermore, functionalism tends to play down controversy in resolving political issues in order to stem the risk of escalating. Now, according to Mitrani, functionalism is a process and as a state of affairs. Now, it is regarded as a process because it encompasses measures designed to abolish discrimination between economic units belonging to different national states. Viewed as a state of affairs, and it can be represented by the absence of various forms of discrimination between national economies. So it is assumed that functionalism will provide the enabling environment for development, which would in turn lead to autonomous development as a consequence of multiplication, expansion, and deepening of functional international organizations. Now, in theory, the process would cascade into formation of an international, government. When this happens, when this happens, the globe would turn into a federation in which all political units within the system would exercise some form of autonomy, but sovereignty would reside with the global government. This state of affairs is assumed to be capable of ensuring international peace and security. So to that effect, functionalism stands as a theoretical basis for the establishment and proliferation of international organizations in the 21st in the 21st century. Now these organizations continue to strive to protect common interests and objectives. Now the next approach we're going to be talking about is neo-functionalism. Now neo-functionalism is an approach to state integration. Neo-functionalism is the process of integrating actors, that is the various sectors in the national economies of consenting states, in the prospect of achieving spillover effects to further enhance the process of integration. Neo-functionalism believes that there is reduction in the value of nationalism, which encourages the political and interest groups within the state to pursue a welfare state objective that can only be achieved through integration. Through neo-functionalism, emphasis on regional integration is actually stressed, and it nevertheless assumes that the concerned states would initially integrate in functional and economic areas, after which in quick succession states will begin to experience increasing rates for more integration in other areas. This is the invisible hand of integration called the spillover. So having integrated in one area, after a very long time, the integration will actually spill over to other areas. ECOWAS, for example, was actually set up for economic integration and cooperation. But over time, ECOWAS has actually delved into security matters like peacekeeping operations and all of that. Peacekeeping operation is not an economic issue, but a security issue. But ECOWAS has delved into it. So having started with economic issue, ECOWAS delved into security issue, which is actually the spillover from the economic issue. So in essence, the success and progress experienced in initial integration leads to integration in other areas and issues. Thus, despite the assumption that integration can be resisted, it becomes difficult to stop because of the benefits of cooperation. In the neo-functionalist thinking, there are two types of spillover effects that can be derived from integration. These are the functional and political spillover. Now, the functional spillover arises from the interconnectedness of various economic, industrial, technical sectors and issue areas that emerged through integration. Similarly, political spillover arises as a result of the extension of the basis of integration from a policy area to others or to the other areas. Now this could include the military governance process, etc. Now in the end, the spillover effects could lead into a formation of supranational government models as in the case of the European Union. Now, the most significant character of a neo-functionalism is its normative nature, thereby investigating, describing, and explaining the process of integration on the basis of the collection and interpretation of empirical data. Now, according to the new